Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. We are continuing exploring the theme of methods and training. And today we reflect on how spiritual practice refines not only what we experience, but how we experience. Training gradually reshapes our capacity to perceive, respond, and remain aligned with the inner condition. Refinement of sensitivity is not something we try to create. It emerges quietly as the heart becomes more settled, more balanced, and more naturally attentive to subtle inner movements. Spiritual training, therefore, is not only upward movement, it is inward clarification. At first, inner experience is often recognized only in broad impressions, which is peacefulness, lightness, or quiet comfort. But with the continued practice, awareness becomes more discriminating. Training works by reducing inner noise. When turbulence lessens, perception becomes naturally precise. We begin to notice not only states but transitions. The moment balance shifts, the instant calm deepens, the subtle changes in inner atmosphere. And the training does not merely improve perception, it stabilizes responsiveness. For an Abhyasi, refinement development develops through sustained engagement with the practices and through attentive living. Meditation quiets the surface layers of the mind, allowing the deeper impressions to be sensed. Cleaning removes residues that cloud inner clarity, and prayer aligns the heart with a higher orientation. Our daily interaction test and strengthen balance in real situation. Practice then becomes less about applying methods and more about remaining inwardly attuned. Dear sisters and brothers, as we move ahead in the session, we request you to extend the invitation of the Heartfulness Masterclasses and the BHED sessions with your dear and near ones so that they may also benefit. You'll find the additional reading material on this theme as well as videos of River Daji, which are available for all to explore on the Heartfulness app under the Sunday tab dated 8th February. With this, we will resume the inspirational reading, which is continuing from the article Niyama by Daji. And this is the article which is also the additional reading material for this theme available on the Heartfulness app. We have read till the paragraph Tapas, and we will now move towards Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya means study of the self. Swa means self. Adhyay is to study. The need for self observation and self analysis in the journey of yoga is paramount. Otherwise, we cannot be conscious of our intentions and actions. As thoughts are the expression of our inner state, observing thoughts help us to study our inner state. In order to streamline our inner state to resonate with the higher, we need to work on our character, bring those habits and tendencies to light that limit our personalities in order for them to go. And this can be tricky because often we become very judgmental with ourselves and develop feelings of guilt and shame. This is not the approach of yoga where self analysis is used for continuous improvement and refinement with self acceptance. Without purity, austerity, and inner contentment, self study can take a back seat. Why would an impure mind resort to self study? A person who has not gone through some level of austerity will not generally be inclined towards self study. Why would a discontented mind resort to systematic self study? Swadhyaya is completed with meditation on the divine principle. Can an impure mind meditate? Can a discontented heart meditate? Can a person meditate who has not simplified their life through tapasya? We need to ask ourselves these fundamental and vital questions. Heartfulness facilitates self study in a number of ways, even when we lack those traits of purity, simplicity, and contentment. In any case, we already have these qualities Why would we need meditation? Why shave eggs? First, through meditation, we learn to be the observer so as to observe our inner universe keenly. That way, when any inner turbulence arises, we are quickly aware and can do what is necessary to remove it through the process of cleaning. We don't need to be entangled in the emotions of what we see in ourselves. Second, we are encouraged to write a journal so as to better sensitize ourselves to the inner condition. We cultivate self observation, self acceptance, and self empathy. As a result, we are able to change more easily. Third, through our connection with the source in prayer, we are able to listen to our heart and become sensitive to its higher wisdom. Fourth, through the practice of constant remembrance, we remain constantly connected with the inner wisdom that can help us study and refine ourselves. Swadhyaya also includes the reading and study of sacred literature. These texts provide a reference point of our inner journey so we know where we are going and how we are progressing. Through reading, we receive the wisdom of those who have already traversed the path, and this inspires us to keep moving forward. In these sacred texts, there is always layer upon layer of meaning and understanding. And as we progress in our journey, these layers of knowledge unfold. Ishwar Pranidhan. The final niyam is Ishwar Pranidhan, meaning surrender to all pervading God. This also leads to self surrender and self acceptance and is reflected in our attitudes and behavior by the utmost humility and sense of innocent wonder. This state is the natural outcome and culmination of faith. Acceptance brings about surrender in the most natural way. Love makes us do things in the most beautiful ways for our beloved. In love, where there is total acceptance, the idea of subservience or forced surrender does not even enter the equation. In contrast, a heart imbued with hatred, disgruntlement, confusion, violence, impurities, and complexities cannot do anything to promote joy for himself or the others. So, is an impure mind capable of acceptance or surrender? In surrender, the burden of ego dissipates, leaving us free to soar higher, allowing consciousness to expand limitlessly. The energy that was suppressed now finds immediate expression. So we feel completely at peace with ourselves and we find bliss within. Accepting everything allows us to surrender to the entire existence. It is no longer a selective process of acceptance and surrender. Surrender is not an individual or group effort, but the result of our endeavors in the spiritual arena under the guidance of a capable guide. We can also learn about Niyama from Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Niyama results in surrendering the fruits of all our actions to the divine with dedication and devotion. It includes selfless action and dissolving any ego attachment to those things that we think, say, or do. Thus, it brings skill in action, as Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna. As a result of these five niyamas, the mind will not wander in any direction, as beautifully explained by Swami Vivekananda. There will be only one focus, and that is the inner goal. Concentration will be the natural outcome. So these practices naturally lead to the fifth limb of Ashtang Yog Pratyahar. Dear sisters and brothers, we'll take a pause here as it is the time to offer the universal prayer. Let us turn our attention inward and with heart full of love, let us offer the universal prayer together. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है। May our hearts grow clearer and more balanced, evenly aware of the subtlest inner guidance. Dear sisters and brothers, as you prepare for the rest tonight, take a few moments to offer the best for the day and offer the heart in simple surrender. And let the bedtime prayer support continued inner refinement as the dear sisters and brothers, thank you for joining this evening session. And today we conclude the theme of methods and training. And we look forward to being together tomorrow at 8:50 p.m. for the Universal Prayer Session with a new theme for the upcoming week. With this, wishing you all a very good rest and a good night. Thank you.